Welcome back to Earth Station Trek, a show where we trek from the early days on NBC to the future on Paramount Plus and everywhere in between. I'm Charles Kelso, and it's my privilege to introduce the Earth Station Trek crew. Alan Seiler.
Would you like a jelly baby?
Veronica Dashel.
Hi.
And we're joined by special guests this week, the founders and directors and overlords of Stellar Fest here in the Atlanta area, Chris and Angela Seckinger. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hi.
Good to have you guys.
Hey, bosses, how are you?
That right?
Exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
We're just
Out of
less than-
time.
less than 2 weeks out from the show. You guys excited?
It's going to be a good one this year.
Oh, I think so. I think there's some amazing panels and shows and games going on. And
Super
I speak currently working on all my panels and games and shows and stuff. So I know mine are going to be awesome.
Right.
So are Alan's. So are Charles.
We
I would hope
have
so.
such a nice assortment. I mean, just besides y'all's, tracks of Star Trek and Doctor Who and Star Wars, I'm doing other worlds, and we have a wide variety of stuff that's going on this year. Many of the franchises that we didn't do last year. So, I mean, that's great. New stuff is always awesome. So I can't wait to go see Nick Frudiger's X-Files panel. And he's also doing a panel of RoboCop and Alien Nation. So,
those are, man, that's good. That's good.
I
stuff.
know, right? And his description is absolutely glorious. I love an intelligent person, and Nick's proving his intelligence with his descriptions for his panels this year.
That's fantastic.
And he may, as a matter of fact, I'm almost positive he beats me this year for being on the most panels. I think he's number one. I think he even beats the two of you. I think he's sitting on maybe 18 panels, something along those lines. So
he doesn't beat you overall, just at this convention.
oh yeah, just he doesn't even come close when
Right.
at the other
Well,
shows.
I will say my job as a track runner is delegation.
Well, see, mine too. I delegated to Nick.
Finally.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was only going to wind up doing about 6 panels, I think it is. But then I stepped up and offered to do 6 trivia games for the Star Wars track. So, luckily the slides were already done. It's just a matter of reframing them and making them perfect for Stellar Fest. So, but we've got some really good stuff.
Yeah. A lot of excitement this year. Last year, I think for a lot of folks, it was sort of an unknown quantity.
Yeah.
But all the feedback that I got, people loved the show last year. A lot of people were pleasantly surprised at how big and how well run it was and how smooth everything went for a first year convention. And a lot of folks are sort of raring to go now for this year, which is exciting.
And I think the thing about that is that people see it as a first year convention, but what some people might not realize is that there is a long track record that goes into this first year.
Right.
These two people have been around the block a time or two, and they've got, another con that's gone for 12 years under their belt. So it's not like this is, I mean, they had a good runway leading up to this one.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We started Conjuration in 2014. So when we decided that we needed to put together a sci-fi show, since science fiction was both of our gateway drugs into the whole world of fandom.
Right.
We already had, 10 years behind us, 11 years behind us as Conjuration. So we kind of knew a good format that, was workable. And we already had the perfect volunteer staff that we could count on. And every single one just was so quick to jump in and say, yeah, we want to do that. So, and our whole goal was to make sure that we emulated the conventions that we loved most. Sure, we had the platform of Conjuration to go with, but we were longtime attendees of Hulana. So we had that sci-fi feel going on in our head, and how Alan and Susan ran Hulana. And I go all the way back to the late 70s for conventions, and one of my absolute favorites was Dixie Trek. And what was great was last year at Stellar Fest, Ron Nystrom, who's one of the directors of Dixie Trek, was there. he was Marta Christen's handler, and he also kind of helped out in some of the panels. And at the end of the show, he came up and he told us that he felt like he had come home, that it felt just like Dixie Truck, which just you couldn't feel my heart anymore if you tried.
I'm tearing up.
Right.
That's exactly what I was going for. I'm like, I want to make those guys proud, the ones who made me want to do the show. And to have Ron say that, just wow, it couldn't get any better than that. So.
Yeah. Let me get a couple of comments in before we go too much further. Matt Sweatman says, "Hello, everyone. Cannot believe we're less than 2 weeks away from Stellar Fest 2.
Neither can we, Matt. Neither can we.
I'm still working on getting the schedule into the app. I promise.
Well, you'll see Matt's name. Matt's on the schedule too. So
yeah, he is.
Yes, he is.
And then we have somebody under the handle Jarl Thunder who says, "This will be my first year attending. Really looking forward to it."
Nice.
Great.
Welcome
We
to
look
the
forward to having
family. Welcome to
That's
the family.
awesome.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a fantastic time. I promise. And then Matt also says, "Dixie Trek and the Atlanta Fantasy Fair were my first conventions."
That's
mine
awesome.
as well, Matt. 1978 Atlanta Fantasy Fair. And we're actually doing a panel called that talks about the Atlanta convention scene, the old days. So it's the older folks that are going to do it. I made myself part of it because, like I said, I've been going since 1978. That was Atlanta Fantasy Fair that year, and I was 11.
But we're only 35 now.
Yeah. No, it's great being a time traveler.
Yeah, we know the doctor well.
Yeah. I'm so old. I went to my first convention when Tom Baker was the doctor, and he was only halfway through his stint.
There you go.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a great panel for people that only know Dragon Con, only know the new shows. It's like, wow, I've got news for you. We had a really great convention scene back in the day, and that's kind of what we want to emulate with Stellar Fest. We want to get back to how it felt in those days when you left a show and you knew everybody at that convention because you sat in the panels, you were at the game shows with them, you went to the concerts, you went to the dances, and you just got to know people, and it wasn't so overcrowded that you kind of got overlooked. You'll be on a first name basis with everybody at Stellar Fest because we're not giant. We're just like an extended family, but it's family members that you like.
Yes.
Yeah.
As opposed to the ones you spend Thanksgiving with.
But we're also really family friendly. We have newer stuff. We do have Artemis, which funny is called Artemis. We didn't name it. It was already named Artemis.
How cool is that? The Starship Simulator we have at Stellar Fest is called Artemis.
That's great.
And everybody who participated in that last year
it was sold out. Yeah, you got to get in and get your schedule in. So you do book times. It's about 45 minutes. You can have up to 6 people on your team, and you literally almost do role playing as you drive the ship. You're in a
you played the parts. You're the captain or the communicator or the navigator or the pilot. And
you talk to each other and do role
Can I be the cook
while you're playing the game? Huh?
Can I be the chef?
Yeah, exactly.
That's my role. I saw some. We had some people that took video last year, and I watched, 100 hours of video, and the video that they took in Artemis, everybody in there was just having a blast and was so into character. It's role playing in a different manner, because it is. They've really themed it out with computer screens everywhere, and everybody's at the console, everybody's playing a role, and then you have the big screen going on with what your starship is doing. It's really cool.
That's about the only thing we have that's an additional charge outside of the vendor room. Of course, you're going to buy your own stuff, but
if
everything
you want
else
something
is fully
cool
included.
That's free, then we have the speeder bike.
Yes.
One of our wonderful people, Chris Lopresto, has built a speeder bike from Star Wars that is rideable, and it can hold up to 900 pounds. So it doesn't matter how big or small you are.
Size, whatever.
You can ride, and you can pretend you are flying through the forest of Endor and
slamming into trees.
Yeah, yeah. I died. I don't know how many dozens of times last year. I'm not. Good at it, but
I do that on my way to work.
The kids were much better. So.
Yeah, there were 2 kids that were the ones who solved it, and they were brother and sister team.
Yeah,
and they were the only ones the weekend. Chris has told me he's going to make it a little simpler. I mean, just a little. It's still going to be challenging.
But you know what? Even crashing, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that thrill.
It's
it's like you going back to 1983 and seeing Return of the Jedi for the first time and going, man, I'd really love to ride a speeder bike. Well, you can.
Yep.
At Stellarfest, and it's free.
Yeah. And we have the wind blowing on you, so you get the effect. So
it's amazing.
And then we also have a Lego center. Like there's going to be workstations for Legos and the Lego Star Wars game. It might be on a Wii, so it's not super new, but I can't remember what platform actually. Was it Wii? Do you remember? Anyway,
I can't remember.
So we have a little bit of modern stuff too.
We have a couple of crafts this year. We've got somebody that's doing sci-fi badges. I'm not sure exactly what. I think it's the air dry clay or the little baking clay. And he's going to teach people how to make really cool looking badges for various sci-fi franchises. And then we have Tandy Leather that's coming in, and they're going to teach you everything about leather there is to know. And if you really like it, then they have a class that they're going to teach, and they have a charge because they're going to actually give you the leather and teach you how to make your own pouch for sci-fi cosplay. So which is going to be neat. We've got all sorts of game shows going on. We've got 2 different radio theater productions that are going to happen, and they're going to use not only the volunteers and the directors, but they're also going to pull people from the audience who want to get up there and play a role. We have 3 bands coming. Lighters, Hyperdrive, and Bebop Lounge are coming. We've got Mark Gunn, who's going to be there, and Moxie Magnus, of course.
Well, you can't do it without Moxie.
No. We have to have Moxie at the opening ceremonies for Stella.
I knew that Hyperdrive was coming, but I didn't know about the other 2. I mean, Hyperspace. I didn't know about the other 2.
Bebop Lounge plays. They've been a standard at the Anime Week in Atlanta for probably about 20 years. And Lighters was called.
It was.
They were called something. We had them last year. They had a totally different name. They had to change it because evidently the name they had is, was being used by somebody else. So they changed their name.
They were with us
and
last
they were
year.
great. They were a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
So
let me get a couple of comments because they're coming in.
Yep.
So Elaine Sweatman says, hi, looking forward to Stellarfest, the panels I'm on, working as a volunteer, and seeing all my friends. And
it's our new friend, see Elaine, she's a cyborg now. So that's gonna be cool.
Our new friend Jarl, who is bringing the thunder, says, as a first-time attendee, what's a couple of the do not miss panels or events at Stellarfest?
Oh, we're always asked that.
You've heard some of them, but we're going to get into.
I'm not going to push my own panels, which are always amazing.
Let's qualify it for a minute. You have 10 to 12 things to do every hour.
Well, we have, let's see, we have Other Worlds 1, Other Worlds 2, Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Deep Space Dimensions, The Grand Chamber, Astronomical Amusements. We have GRS, we have Artemis, and upstairs we have the Cosmic Coffee House and Stellar Special. So there are actually 12 rooms with stuff going on. This is what I can tell you. If I am the one who puts the majority of the schedule together. My track directors give me their schedules, but then I have to work around the other 100 things that are submitted. And I work the schedule so that I am not on a panel at 8:00 on Friday night, because there is going to be a panel that's run by Aaron Meyerson, and it is ranking 1980s movies. Last year, he did ranking starship captains, and they brought in 44 different captains from various franchises. We started at 8 o'clock. I didn't put anything on after him because I knew it would run a little long. We were in there until 10:30. Nobody left. Everybody stayed. It was the coolest thing ever.
Wow.
We rated all of these different captains, and he's over there typing them into the computer and giving them their own little score. And it was amazing. The room was completely packed. So I have a feeling that ranking 1980s movies is going to be the same thing. And I'm definitely going to be there because I had so much fun at the Starship Captains last year. But we got lots of there's a number of anniversary panels that I think look good that are going to be talking about what happened in 1986 and 1976 and 1966. And I think those will be cool because it's always great to look back in time. Don't you think, Doctor Who track director?
Yes, I do.
The time travel is amazing. So
absolutely.
I'm working on one right now. Everybody knows Brian Fuller from his Star Trek stuff. He worked on Voyager. He worked on DS9. He worked on Short Treks. He worked on Discovery. But I'm doing a panel that talks about the Fullerverse, which is his three shows that kind of connect to one another, and people make the assumption that they're all part of the same universe. So I'm working on a panel right now that's going to cover Pushing Daisies, Dead Like Me, and Wonderfalls, so that people can get to know Brian Fuller outside of the Star Trek universe. Because you know what? The dude he's out there. He's got some very cool, strange, fun ideas. And they go beyond the Star Trek universe into just the sublime and crazy. So, and we have I'm doing panels on forgotten TV shows of the 80s.
About your panels.
I push Karen's first. It's only fair I push mine. Forgotten TV shows of the 80s, 90s, and 21st century. So I don't have anything else.
The must-sees. I mean, there's Georgia Reptile Society.
I think people should show up at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning and become part of the Star Trek fan film.
Yeah, we're bringing it back.
Now,
I almost erased it from the panel. I'm like, what? Hey. They're doing it again. I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
Do they need to have a costume?
If you have a costume, great. If not, we'll have some on hand. So feel free to come. You know, that's kind of the fun of it. This people show up in some sometimes random and sometimes very accurate Star Trek costumes, but we'll have some costumes on hand for generic aliens and that sort of thing. But yeah, feel free to come. It's 8 o'clock Saturday morning. And if you arrive after 8, I know a lot of people are coming in on Saturday. We ran into that last year. Come join. Basically the scene that we're shooting is sort of like a crowd scene. So we're going to start off sort of in small groups and pull out to the wide shots as we go along. So feel free to come in and join in. People loved it last year. And several people came up to me just during the convention to say how much they've always wanted to do something like that, to put on a Romulan costume and be in Star Trek for a minute. And we're actually screening the film we shot last year, Friday night, so people can come out and see themselves. And then you can also sort of see what we're doing. And then we'll be reconvening Saturday morning and getting up early because the convention is quiet enough. As soon as the panels and things, people aren't moving around, it gets very hard to record dialogue.
Speaking of screening, Alan, you're showing the two recently discovered, what's the Dalek Master Plan? Is that the 2 episodes?
Sure is.
I think that's going to be so cool. Our son Dylan is very excited about getting to see those.
Oh, cool.
I've only ever heard them, so I'm going to have to try to see if I've got an opening to come watch.
That's a very good point, because the audio recordings of these lost episodes have always been available, but unless you have the visuals to go with it, there's so many things that you miss. For instance, there's a scene in the first one where the big bad of the piece, he's called Mavic Chen. He's the guardian of the solar system, so he's a big political figure, and he's giving one of his standard pat speeches, about how everything is wonderful. And what you don't see if you just hear the audio is one of the other characters, who is not a supporter of him, mouths along sarcastically with everything he's saying, because he says the same shit every time.
Right.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Let me get a couple of more comments before we jump too far ahead. Because I was going to get some to go along with what I had earlier, but let me get Matt Sweatman says, I can think of a couple of epic movies from 1986. That certainly was a good year.
It was a good year.
It was.
And at Sabalon says, looking forward to giving Chris a hard time for fun and the Ractagino in the coffee room.
Yes, that is a good one.
Yeah, Dan gives me a hard time every week at trivia. So this is just, he gets the whole weekend to give me grief. So,
but then
we do have on the 16th floor in the presidential suite, there is a Cosmic Coffee House, and we offer the Ractagino, our version of Ractagino, and tea and various little snacks. And it's just a place. Sometimes we'll have acoustic music and performances, but it's just kind of like a chill out place. I'm not saying it's quiet, but it's just kind of a place to just sit together and hang out. Yep. And we do have, it's complimentary snacks.
One of our authors is performing there. He's also a singer-songwriter. He does a lot of the singer-songwriter stuff in the 70s and 80s, and he's also written his own stuff, D.S. Watson. So you can catch him in the hallway and get him to sign a book, or you can go upstairs to the Cosmic Coffee House and hear him play and sing. And from what we understand, because it works out every single time he's performing, I'm on a panel somewhere and I haven't seen him yet, but everybody comes up and go, hey, that author guy you got, he's really good. I'm like, well, that's wonderful. I wish one day I could go see him. But I'm going to give it my best shot this year because I heard so many great things. And Moxie filled the room last year. I saw a video of her up there in the Cosmic Coffee House. Yeah, it's a fun place. And like Angela says, it's chill most of the time. Not full of raucous music and noise. But it's always a fun place to just get a cup of coffee and hang out, or a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Or hot.
Yes, we definitely have.
We have frozen drinks this year.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
All right. Sabalon also says, 40 years ago, Trial of a Time Lord.
Somebody's doing a panel about that, aren't they?
That's absolutely right. First of all, I'm a big Colin Baker fan. Second of all, I absolutely love Trial of a Time Lord. But third, there is a whole world of backstory on that season that if you don't know it, it's fascinating. So we're going to get into all that stuff. I'm excited about that one. And then to wrap it up, Jarl Thunder says, that's a great list. Thanks, Chris and Angela. I'll definitely be there for the film.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, look at that.
Hey.
Yeah. Exciting.
Yep. We know it's early, but there's so much. It's just going to be a really great opportunity.
Speaking of films, so I totally forgot about interstellar screening. So actually, there's 13 rooms of stuff going on at all times. And not only do we have KR running interstellar screenings, which is going to have all sorts of stuff on VHS because he's a huge VHS collector, and DVD,
nice. 17
and
floor.
on MP4s as well. But at 7 o'clock on Saturday night, my friend Chance Bartels is a collector of old 8mm and 16mm films. And he did we just kind of squeezed him in last year and thought, well, if he gets 2 or 3 people, that'll be great. I popped some popcorn, brought it down to him, and the room had like 13, 14 people. I'm like, wow. So we actually managed to work it in on the schedule and put him in a better room so that more people get to see him. And he's bringing episodes on film of Lost in Space, Space 1999, $6 Million Man, as well as the Star Trek blooper reel. And he's got a good film copy that he purchased back in the early 80s. So it's not the washed out stuff that you get on YouTube. Yeah. This one's still in pretty good shape. So he's going to start at 7 o'clock on Saturday night, and he's just going to keep running until he runs out of popcorn, I think. So, and I think it's cool for the people who've never actually seen stuff on film.
Yeah.
Everybody knows how to pop a DVD in the player, but actually see somebody work with actual film and a projector and screen, that's kind of cool. So
yeah, those are all my favorite shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And we have great interactive experiences. For kids, we have a bounce house outside. We're going to have a car show. Not as many this year as there were last year. We had a last minute cancellation, unfortunately, from the Men in Black, but we do have Bessie coming back.
Yep.
And we have the Battlestar Galactica car. So
there may be one other one showing up if the people who own it can work out a way to get it there.
Awesome. Okay. Okay.
I won't say any more.
Oh,
We do
I have no idea what you're talking about, Alan.
I was waiting for a reveal.
We'll just leave it hanging in the air there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Tantalize people.
we're expecting a TARDIS to arrive, but I don't
Yep.
know. I kept sending messages and the doctor didn't always answer, so we'll just have to
Oh,
see.
as far as I know, he's coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's doing a panel on how to build your own. So
he is doing a panel, so he better show up.
Awesome.
My schedule kept being late, being turned in to Chris because I kept having people who were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Didn't you know I'm not able to come to the con?" And I'm like, "Well, what am I supposed to do with the panel slot that you had requested?" And then, so I had to find things to fill slots, and that happened a few times. And I'm like, "Well," so
Yep.
It's really cool to know the right people. And at this point, we've been doing this long enough that we do know the right people. We had an author who had submitted 5 panels, and he had to cancel.
yeah.
And I mean, talk about a big empty hole. And Dave Schrader, who's in charge of the Science and Lit panel, he lets me know. And Dave can't be there this year because they booked a cruise before we changed the dates. And it's kind of impossible to get out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dave, don't worry about it. I'll see what I can do. And we had an author, Bob McGowan, who stepped up and said, I can do all those panels. I'm like, yeah, Bob, but you can't steal the title and the description. He said, no. It will be similar. I will make them my own. I will do some of the same stuff because people want to know how to market their stuff. They want to know about writing this kind of character and doing that. I'm like, awesome. And Bob stepped it up and within 2 days had filled in all the empty spaces that we had. So it's great knowing the right people. And this community, the science fiction community, is so full of talented people that I go into this far less worried than I go through most of my life because I know that I got people that got my back. Good folks who can step it up and do a fantastic job. So
yeah,
that's great.
Matt Sweatman says, I could spend the entire convention in the film room, but then I would miss so much stuff.
That's true.
It is so true. And I could too. I love sitting in the film room and just watching. I mean, even if it's something I've seen 100 times, there's still something really special about seeing it screened in that way, in that setting with other people enjoying it as well.
Well, KR and I worked out, he gave me a schedule and I'm like, we need some stuff at nighttime, KR, for the people that don't necessarily want to party or go to the dance, but still want to be, in the science fiction mode. Yeah. And I'm like, how about this? How about we do Night of the B movies on Friday night, and we do Return of the Night of the B movies on Saturday night?
Perfect.
He said, great. I said, I want you to find all these old movies in the 50s and just pile them up together, because he's also running other panels and needs to be able to plug and walk away. And I'm like, plug, walk away, just all the really great drive-in movies from the 50s. He said, how about this? Do you have a space where I could play something a little more modern? I'm like, as a matter of fact, I don't have anything going on in astronomical amusements at night. So, well, we're running Night of the B movies upstairs on Friday night. Downstairs, he's going to be doing a heavy metal night. He's going to run heavy metal and heavy metal 2000. Saturday night for Return of the Night of the B movies. Downstairs, he's doing sci-fi anime. So he's trying to hit all the generations. So it's going to be great. So Matt, not only is Interstellar stuff going on, but we have a film festival and we have other stuff going on the main floor. So good luck escaping those films, buddy.
Let me get one last comment in before we take a break, because we're at the halfway point. Talking about my little not really reveal about one more vehicle coming. We have a guess at what it is. The Gremlin from Wayne's World.
That'd be cool.
That's
really
hilarious. Okay. So we're going to run a little ad. no idea what it'll be for, but it might be relevant to our discussion. So we're going to do that, and then we'll be right back in 30 seconds. So everybody who's in our chat room, watch this ad. This will give you a little taste of what the convention is like. So here we go.
Yay.
Love it.
That makes you want to come to this con, don't it?
Yeah, for sure.
And I saw stuff that we forgot to talk about.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about the Star Trek track yet.
No, or mine. So we're going to have to do that.
Let them talk a little.
Yeah. Let's grab that comment from Sabalon real quick, though, because I think that's very true. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you're on the other screen.
No, I hadn't got over to the comment page again. Okay. If you can't find something to do at Stellarfest, check your GPS to make sure you're there.
Right. Yeah.
This is
That's good.
Yeah. If you're bored, you're doing something wrong, because there's plenty to do.
Oh my gosh.
Just a little quick rundown for the Star Trek track. We've got some really great panels. Some presenters that we had last year are coming back again. We are, Frank and I will start, I guess, with what we're doing. You want to talk a little about the things that we've got going on?
Yeah, so we're doing the Umox.
Yeah, we're doing a late night sex and Star Trek panel called Umox for Fun and Profit. That'll be
I thought you were actually going to give people Umox.
No.
I'm like, I'm there.
We'll see what happens.
It's not a house.
Get ahead of myself.
Or is it?
It could be.
But we're also going to have a karaoke going on.
Yep, we're doing the Saturday night karaoke again, which was a hit last year. We were there, I think, to like 1:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And last year it was fun because it happened to fall on First Contact Day, which is also your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
This year it's not. So, but luckily they introduced in Starfleet Academy this thing called All Worlds, which is like spring break for Star Trek.
Yeah.
So the Starfleet Academy spring break called All Worlds. So what a great title for or a great name for the karaoke party is All Worlds, because everyone's welcome. So everyone come by the Star Trek track Saturday night for the karaoke party. We're gonna have a lot of fun there.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
I don't remember. This is the ones I remember.
Jesus.
Man,
I remember, Veronica, y'all are doing a live reading of the Gold Key comic books.
We're doing
I think that's awesome.
Yep, we did that last year and it was a lot of fun. We call it Suffering Stardust.
Yep.
It's one of the exclamations, Suffering Stardust, Galloping Galaxies. They're always saying things like that. So it's a very different version of Star Trek. But the interesting thing about the Gold Key comics is that they sort of learn to be Star Trek as they go along.
Yeah.
The deeper into those comics you read, the more they sort of morph from this not very good portrayal of Star Trek into Star Trek by the end. And it's pretty fascinating. So we do some selections from there.
Yeah, and we'll take like each individual panel and we'll have it up on a slideshow on the screen so people can see the panel while they're watching the people do the live read as well. So
that's right.
Yep.
So you get to see the panels and then see the live read.
Yep.
We've got a Subspace Rhapsody sing along Friday night, so you can come sing along to Subspace Rhapsody. We're gonna save Alan a seat.
I got my own stuff going on.
I know you do. Well, don't worry, you'll be able to hear it.
Oh, I know.
And then we've got Nara and Kavura coming down from Tennessee, and they're doing a couple of fun panels. The Starlog Magazine at 50, exploring Star Trek, and also Star Trek Enterprise at 20. But basically, what Star Trek was like at the turn of the millennium and into Star Trek Enterprise, which will be a lot of fun. Doing a panel, something that Keith's been talking about, a joke he keeps making on the show. We sort of turned it into a panel called "The Many Loves of Mr. Spock." And I think we end up having to turn people away from this panel because we've got so many people who wanted to be on that panel.
Oh my God. I had like so many requests. I'm like,
I know.
Chuck's going to have to cut it off, people.
Everybody's like, sign me up for that, which is fun because it's also, it covers a couple of different shows. Obviously there's different love portrayals for Mr. Spock on the various shows, but also kind of a contentious topic because not everyone thinks that Mr. Spock should fall in love.
They're wrong.
Which Star Trek intro reigns supreme? We've got Dave West and the Needless Thing podcast coming back to pick up where they left off last year on the Star Trek toys, talking about the interesting history of Star Trek toys, which has not always been as successful as some other sci-fi franchises, but there's some really interesting stuff in that history. Do we want to talk about guests yet?
He wants to know if you want to talk about guests yet, honey.
We are. Sorry, I'm trying to read her little notes here to see what she's talking about.
That's supposed to say that.
We have Sean Kinney coming. Sean is the wheelchair Pike, the first Pike that we're actually introduced to in the Star Trek universe.
Fleet Captain
he
Pike.
also played Lieutenant DePaul in a couple of episodes. Two really great episodes, I might add. Taste of Armageddon and Arena. We are having Luke Kokatek for the Stranger Things fans. In season 5, he plays the young Will Byers and really nails it. The whole time we're watching, I'm like, man, they got a kid that really looks like him. He's doing a great job. And we have Tiffany Grant, who has done, I don't know, 1,000 different voices in various animes, including probably 100 different science fiction shows. So she's going to be there. It's going to be amazing. We have an artist. Not only do we have Mark Maddox, who is a consummate, across the board, fantastic artist. But we have a computer artist who was one of the initial artists on the computer game Halo. He's since done dozens more, but I'm like, well, Halo, that's really cool.
I've heard of it.
A big time gamer, and even I know this game, so that's going to be really cool. We forgot to mention, when you were playing the little video, you showed Noise Complaint, our tap dancers. And for those of you who haven't seen Noise Complaint,
they're great.
You've got to go. Even look, the first time I heard that we were having tap dancers, I'm like, really? And this was at Conjuration 12 years ago.
Right.
I'm like, okay, this sounds stupid. And then I see them for the first time. I'm like, oh my God, they're actually telling the story through dance, and they're blowing my mind. They're so good at what they do. And the leader, Jen, happens to be a huge Star Trek fan. And so they have sci-fi shows as well. And it's like, come on down. And her husband is a DJ. So Friday night, we are also going to have a dance. We do one on Saturday night, which is the Galactic Rave. But Friday night, we are also having the Area 51 unauthorized dance party. And Sean is going to be hosting that one. So
nice.
It should be a lot of fun. What was the other thing that I forgot?
There's a last minute guest, Shane Moore.
What?
No.
The microphone's pointed at you. You can talk to them.
Yeah, but I'm not as good as you, honey. I'm not as good as him in talking about things.
Whatever.
So we have another last minute guest. We haven't put him up on the website yet.
Ooh, well, who is it?
I can see his brain not processing.
Talking about him. Yeah, he's a special effects artist.
Okay, well.
No, you put me on the spot.
Oh, Shane.
Yeah, Shane.
Okay, awesome. Yay.
Yeah, we love Shane Morton.
Shane Moore, thank you. I put more, but I was afraid it wasn't more. I thought maybe it was Monroe. I'm so sorry.
We were contacted by a few people in the last week or so, and
literally 4 people reached out to us last week.
Juggle is like, okay,
who can we
special effects are going to be cool. Computer animation is really cool and fits. We don't have anybody like that. There have been a couple of people we've had to go, no, you don't really fit. We'd like to stick to science fiction. I mean, it's a science fiction convention. Yeah. I'm not going to have, the Harry Potter people show up at Stellar Fest. So I certainly don't want, I wouldn't have Captain Kirk show up at Conjuration.
Although
you need to stick with what your focus is. And
wouldn't turn him away though.
We do have a few authors that are fantasy authors that want to be here because they love us at Conjuration, and they have some really good
them have done sci-fi as well, even if it's like short stories or
exactly. So it's just a little bit, but it's not as full blown sci-fi. So they lean heavier into fantasy. So there will be that, but all our interactive experiences and the panels and all that are fully sci-fi.
And we have about like 10 or 12 authors that will be there. So please make sure you bring that money and buy those books. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And vendors, we have lots of vendors in the vendor hall. So, well,
Okay.
lots to us is 40, not 100 or 1,000.
All right, let me get some comments. Let me run the board here. Elaine says that she loves the Saturday night karaoke.
Yay!
That was a huge hit.
Yeah, we had a blast.
Yeah.
Matt Sweatman says, I can testify that karaoke is awesome fun. Elaine says, this is a panel suggestion. She's throwing in, because I haven't got to mine yet, but she wants to say how to embrace the silliness of Star Trek, brought to you by Elaine and Matt Watch TV. And she also recommends how to embrace the silliness of Doctor Who, brought to you by Elaine and Matt Watch TV. Mm-hmm. So Matt says, Mark Maddox is not only an amazingly talented artist, he's also a great guy.
True.
100%. And I got Matt also saying Conjuration is breaking out beyond its Harry Potter origins, and it's great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll throw in if William Shatner turns up at Conjuration, let him in.
You know, I'll bet you if we looked at his 95-year career that we could find something that was fantasy that we could, kind of work in.
We'll make it work.
Because look, Conjuration is magical fantasy. It's all magical fantasy. Look at the books behind us. If they cast a spell on the book, movie, or TV series, we do it. Same thing with Stellarfest. Science fiction, all science fiction. Whether it's a time travel science fiction or it's, a wagon train to the stars. If there is futuristic stuff involved, we want to include it. So while we have dedicated tracks for the big three, Other Worlds encompasses everything else. So we're more than happy to do panels on anything that is of science fiction origin. So.
Mm-hmm.
And experiences we have, the kids can hunt for Grogu's frogs throughout the event. And like it said, the Lego Center, there's other things that they can do. They don't necessarily have to sit through panels. There's lots of interactive experiences like the live bands and the dances and all that. So it's just so much more.
And so many costumes. The 501st will be back.
You're not allowed to say that.
We're gonna have some.
We're gonna have some great cosplayers. We're gonna have great cosplayers that were in the ad for the show.
Something that you mentioned in passing earlier, I want to come back to because it's something that's really cool and people need to know about it, and that's the reptile experience.
Georgia Reptile Society.
Yes. So if you don't want to sit in a panel and you don't want to watch a film, come pet a lizard.
Exactly.
Hold a snake.
Hold a snake.
Yeah.
Come on.
You can hold a snake. And of course they would love for you to help donate, but they love introducing you to how they're saving reptiles and other related insects. And
they go all around the state and do programs at various schools and libraries and institutions to teach people about the reptiles, how to take care of the reptiles, why we should preserve them, how awesome they are in our ecological system. They really educate so many hundreds and thousands of people through the years. So they have their own dedicated room. So please, like Alan said, stop by and pet a lizard and hold a snake and get to know these people and give them a little something so that they have that gas money to get to that next school and that next library, because they're a great organization. They've been with us since the very first year of Conjuration, and there was no question about asking them to join us for Stellarfest last year.
Right.
So they're one of our official
Habitat for Humanity is our other.
They're one of our official charities, and Habitat for Humanity is the other. Wow.
Yeah, that's two good ones.
It was a long weekend.
It was.
Okay, important information. Our friend Jarl Thunder says Shatner played, I'm going to guess this, Croatoan? I don't know, in the sci-fi show Haven. So he's squarely had a dark fantasy role. He's totally in for Conjuration.
I'll give him a call. We'll get in here. Yeah.
And you did bring up guests, and we're not necessarily, we don't consider our guests
Yeah.
We don't consider ourselves a guest show. We're not an
Right.
autograph show. We're an interactive experience. But we do try. We tried it for the first time at Stellar Fest. We've never had any at Conjuration, and it was really popular. So we possibly will have some every year, but it's not necessarily something that's not the first thing you'll see about us. So if you don't see us announcing guests, it's not that we're necessarily holding out. We may not have any. We're not necessarily that kind of show, but we do strive to have the right experiences for everyone. And some people, the experience is autographs, but there are other big conventions here in Atlanta that offer that.
Yeah. So I would like to focus on, I mean, if we do guests, then the ones that are local would be my preference, because, you know, that's our people, that's our family, that's our Atlanta folks. And I've already got 2 of our Atlanta folks scheduled for next year.
Wow.
But I mentioned the little boy who played Will Byers in Stranger Things, Luke, and Luke is from Chattanooga. So, you know, when I say local, Southeast
Regional
would be great. There's so many actors that live around here now. Yeah. Thanks to Atlanta becoming the Hollywood of the South. So I think it'll be a little bit easier every year to get that, you know, that special somebody who, you know, maybe doesn't get to do a table at the giant Dragon Con. Will be their home. So
we're a smaller con. We charge really small ticket prices.
Yeah, so we can't afford Shatner, but
unless he loves us,
you know, we can give somebody a hotel room. Come on down, join us, be a part of our family.
So that's why we're just limited. It's only our 2nd year. You know, who knows what might be available when we grow, but right now we do try to be more of an experience.
Who knows what the future may hold?
Yes.
I know last year we had Sandy Gimpel, which sort of came up after we already started the planning and stuff for the con, and you guys came to me and were like, hey, we have the opportunity to get her. And I was like, that would be amazing, because she has a sort of career that she can just tell you stories for days. Right. You know, from being a dancer to a stunt woman to a stunt choreographer to it, like she worked with everybody from, you know, like Elvis to Sacha Baron Cohen is the breadth of her career. But she's endlessly fascinating, and so I love the more niche, the more of like, you know, the people who are just in Hollywood getting their hands dirty for years, not necessarily the famous celebrity that everyone's going to line up for 3 hours.
We were when she contacted us, we were. It's like, well, a stunt woman, I don't know. When we looked at her IMDb, it's like, wow. I'm like, I want to meet her. So let's get her a plane ticket. Let's get her out here, because I think it'd be really cool. And as it turned out, it wasn't just us that wanted to meet her. I mean, you were excited, but it turns out that a lot of people were excited about her, and they did not know her face because she's a covered in makeup, or she's, you know, being the stunt woman. And it didn't matter. Everybody knew her work. And so those are the kind of people that we'd like to have at Stellar Fest. It's just cool.
She was even going right back at 1 p.m. the same day.
Yes, we had to put her on a plane Monday morning last year, and she had to be at Paramount Studios by 3 o'clock that afternoon, sitting in a makeup chair to get ready to do stunt work. She's 87 years old. Well, she was last year. Now she's 88, and she's still being a stunt woman. I mean, that's mind blowing. I creak and crack when I get out of the bed in the morning. This woman just get up and go.
Chris, I just want to.
Cool guest.
I want to something you said a second ago. I want to just chime in on, and that is when I was running Hulanta. You know, I always tried to book really great guests for our audience, but I also it was because I wanted to meet them.
I know.
Oh, hey, Savalon says Holly Hunter is from Conyers. Just saying.
Look, man,
Robbie
if you
Duncan
think I haven't
McNeil.
already thought about that, think again.
Robbie Duncan McNeil has got family in the area. He's from here. He doesn't live here now,
but Marta and Sandy back too. I love them so much. It was so great. Anyway, that's great.
So, Alan, you haven't really talked about your track yet.
I have not.
We're getting to the last couple of minutes too.
Yep.
I know.
We could talk forever. Sorry.
So, preceding our screening of the 2 brand new recovered episodes of Doctor Who from 1965. Right before that, we're doing a panel all about missing episodes and why they're missing and how many are missing and how they might get recovered and how these 2 new ones got recovered and all those kind of things. Super interesting story. And Chris mentioned earlier talking about looking back to, those anniversary years, 1966, 1976. So what we're doing is we're looking back at those key years at the important things that happened, and the years that end in 6 there's great stuff that happened in the world of Doctor Who. 1966 was the very first regeneration. We wouldn't still have Doctor Who if that had not happened. 1976, you get that iconic team of the 4th Doctor and Sarah Jane Smith. 1986, as we mentioned earlier, Trial of a Time Lord. 1996 was the Doctor Who movie starring Paul McGann. And then 2006 is the first year that David Tennant took over the TARDIS. So basically the first regeneration of the new series. So we're looking back at all those key years, and there's so much amazing stuff that happened in there. Let's see. We are doing a review. We put this on the schedule a long time ago, thinking that surely Disney would have this out for broadcast by this point. So we're going to do a review of the Doctor Who spinoff War Between the Land and the Sea, which is still in Disney Plus's hands, and they still have not said one way or the other whether they're going to, but the BBC has already screened it, and we have seen it, and we're going to review it. So if you are interested, in something you may never see on American broadcast, who knows, then come and join that. And let's see, we're going to be talking about the RTD2 era. Russell T Davies is the only showrunner in Doctor Who history to come back and showrun the show for a second time. And it looks like his era might be winding down with the end of the Disney Plus deal. We don't know where anything is going to go past this point. There is a Christmas episode coming up this year. After that, we have no clue. So we're going to be doing kind of a wrap up of RTD2 era. And you know what? It's April, but we're going to be talking about all the Christmas episodes, because why not? Why not?
Yep,
so we've got all kinds of stuff, and we've got some like cool game shows going on, and we've got 2 different versions of Werewolf, one that's called Zygon and one that's called Dalek. And they're both going to be amazing. We have, let's see, one game show called Mastermind, which is a British game show that has been adapted for a sci-fi setting. So there's lots of stuff to do in the Doctor Who track, and I hope you will all come out.
Nice.
Yeah, it's an uncertain time for Star Trek fans as well.
Yes.
Because on one hand, it's the 60th anniversary, time to celebrate, and then they also just canceled all the shows and they're tearing down the sets. So it's like, wow, yay! What do we do now?
Yeah, exactly.
So
we have no idea where
what's
Trek is going to go either.
Yeah, what's going to happen next? Who knows?
Crazy.
Will there be a Star Trek on TV in 2 years? Who knows? So yeah, with a lot to discuss.
Yeah.
Okay, comment. Oh,
okay,
sorry.
Go ahead for the comments, and then I'll go.
Okay, Draw Thunder says Wes Chatham, who was Amos in The Expanse, is from North Georgia.
There we go.
That's good to know.
I'm making the list.
We have a quote from Elaine. That's my fighting hand. That's David Tennant from his first episode.
Yep.
And Elaine is also going to be doing a panel. We did one last year called The Women of Doctor Who, and it was about the on-screen characters. This time we're going to do a behind the scenes, because that's where, to me, the more interesting story is. These women who have been in charge of Doctor Who in various ways, whether they be writers or directors or producers or costumers, anything. So we're going to be talking about some of those. And then Matt says, damn, Alan, forget the film room. I could spend an entire con in your room. Well, then come on and do it. Looking forward to it.
Yep, we all need a personal TARDIS so we can go see all of this stuff, because you're gonna have a hard time picking and choosing. I mean, sorry.
All right.
Not.
So I have some things outside of the Star Trek track that I'm doing.
Yes.
2 things. I'm doing a panel on Animorphs with some fellow buddies that I met at Stellarfest that I discovered that they also are obsessed with Animorphs like me. So
Nice.
We're all going to chat about Animorphs, the almost That's like 96, I think, was when it first came out. So we're hitting the anniversary. And I'm also doing a panel about the Bobaverse books by Dennis E. Taylor, who people will probably more know the audiobook narrator for the Bobaverse books, which is Ray Porter, who is currently very popular for Project Hail Mary, but he did Bobaverse first. Same.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're also doing a theater in Star Trek. In the Star Trek
yes,
track.
I am doing a theater in Star Trek about all the times that there was theater involved in Star Trek, not just musicals.
Oh, that's cool. That's a great idea.
And
That's a good
also
topic.
theater productions of Star Trek. There have been multiple theater productions of Star Trek.
Are you going to talk about frame of mind?
I don't know.
Well, okay.
We'll have to see.
I need to get some panel stuff together. I just realized I have done nothing.
There you go. Oh boy, that's my favorite theater episode of Star Trek.
Okay.
Mine's The Conscience of the King.
Yeah, I know. You always default to the original series.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Exactly. You should do a whole panel about Ferengi theater.
Okay. Yeah, I'll write that down for next year.
Right after the Umox panel.
Right. All right.
Boy.
Well, I know we can't possibly just sit here and name everything that's going to be going on at the con. I mean, it was a great first year.
Yeah.
I would say to someone who's coming for the first time, don't get overwhelmed if you can't figure out where to be, when, and which thing you want to pick. Just go with the flow, have a fun experience, and I mean, whatever you do there, you're going to be having a good time.
We have the app.
Yep.
We also have a printed program guide that should be here tomorrow.
Ooh.
So you should be able to find all sorts of stuff that you like. I appreciate the printed program guide because I can go through and highlight what I really want to see. It makes it a little easier for me, but you do you. I think you'll find something of enjoyment every hour of every day of the show. I know I'm going to stay busy the whole time. So
yep. In the app, you can also save your schedule, and
Yes.
it'll send reminders right before your
You
scheduled
don't
item.
have to have a highlighter when you use the app.
Yeah, if you're using the technology.
look, I'm 59 years old. I want a highlighter. Thank you very
Dude, I'm
much.
64. I can.
And also in the app, please provide your feedback. That's what really helps us decide who we're keeping, who we're not, who we're inviting, all that stuff.
So say nice things about me so they'll keep me.
Right. Same.
Yeah,
You got nothing but stellar responses last year. So
So yeah, the feedback is extremely important. It really helps us determine where
All right. One last comment. This is a good one. Printed program. I saw that in a museum once.
yeah, but not as colorful and not as wonderful, I assure you.
I will say, as far as conventions who do printed programs, Chris, you do a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
I'm not joking. You put a lot of thought and planning into the way that your program books. I mean, if you haven't gone to Conjuration and seen the program book, go just for that. I don't care if you go see a panel or anything, just go and get that program book because it's really,
I have
cool.
a lot of fun with it. And
yeah,
what you do when you have the body of the work, you have little empty spaces that you need to fill. And so I try to drop in little pictures here and there. And I have to tell you, Veronica and Chuck, that I came really close on the page that had the Umox panel. I had a little empty space and I'm like, should I?
Yes.
I didn't, but I really thought about it, just so you know.
Yes, you should.
Anyone who knows us that knows we'll say yes.
Had to keep it clean for the kids.
Right.
Yep. It is definitely a family friendly. We do have some items marked as 18 and up.
Just a couple.
Just
yeah,
a very
yeah.
okay. But pretty much everything, and people feel comfortable. I mean, at Conjuration especially, but at Stellar Fest last year, they let their kids into the space, and it's a fairly safe space. I want to say it's a safe space.
It is.
13 years of con, we didn't have any, so
yeah,
beautiful, wonderful places and lots of things to do. You like we've been repeating, you're not going to be bored, so give it a chance. And it's very affordable for this time. You can't see a movie for 3 days at the prices that we charge at the door.
You can't go see a movie and get popcorn and a Coke for what we charge.
No, definitely not. Let's see. Jarl Thunder says, thank you all. Really looking forward to meeting you all at Stellarfest.
Yay! Make sure you tell us who you are.
Yeah.
And then, yes, exactly. And then the important question, Elaine wants to know when the app will be updated.
That's on her.
So she
already,
doesn't have to
already
use her highlighter.
Yeah, and Gerald, come by the Doctor Who and Star Trek tracks.
Yes.
I run Star Trek track. Alan runs Doctor Who. We're next door to each other, I assume.
Yes.
Still next door to
Yep.
each other.
We better
we
be.
change it.
So come by and say hey.
Usually when we set a flow, that's the flow. Unless
Good.
there's an issue, like it
Well, I didn't know if Alan
wasn't big
complained.
enough.
He
I
kept
was
hitting the
trying
wall
to
with
get
a
you
broom.
kicked out.
So 2 to 3 days for the app updated. If I want to give a real honest answer,
As long as your karaoke doesn't go too loud and we can't do our night programs.
No promises there.
I know.
Can't control the karaokeers.
that may have to move to main stage. Oh, we can't move it to main
No,
stage.
you got stuff
No.
there too.
We have a dance.
Oh, speaking of main stage, one more thing. We have a lightsaber group that will come and teach you how to use lightsabers. They're going to be
Nice.
fighting on stage. So if you show up to the Star Wars track and there's nobody there, they're in the grand chamber learning how to fight with lightsabers.
It's fencing with lightsabers.
Yeah, fencing. Yes.
Very
Fencing
cool.
skills.
I didn't want to forget them. They're going to be doing it 3 different times. So
Nice.
Very cool.
Well, thank
All right.
you guys for coming to join us.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of
thanks
fun.
for
I know
having us.
everyone's busy right now, but we wanted to promote the show and talk a little bit about what we've got going on. Where can people find more info on Stellarfest if they have just heard about it just now and want to know where to do?
Yep. Stellarfest.org, not .com, .org.
That's
And
right.
the schedule will be up there as well in just a day or two.
Excellent.
And Alan, where can people find more of you?
CosmicCreative.com, KOZMIC creative.com, where you'll find all my podcasts. And I swear to God, I am on the verge of starting another one. And I'm trying to talk myself out of it
Don't do
because I really want to do it. But anyway, and all the books that I've written and books that I've published by other people and information about the documentary that I'm working on, still working on it. And I also want to say, just before we go live every Thursday night at 8:00 to talk about Star Trek. So if you've enjoyed us on tonight's show, then follow us on Thursday nights. We would love to have you talking about Star Trek.
And how about us, Ronka?
FeltNerdy.com.
Yep, we'll be at Puppet Palooza in North Georgia this weekend, debuting a new show, which is very different from anything we've done before. Also, you can find us tomorrow night at Tease Tuesday at the Red Light Cafe here in the Atlanta area.
Yep.
You can find us
Adults only.
Wednesday on Monkeying Around, our Monkeying Around live stream, which is
Monkeying Around, a podcast about the monkeys.
that's right. And then back here Thursday for Earth Station Trek live at 8 p.m. So we're all over the place.
Yeah.
We're spread a little thin.
Yeah, telling you.
Yeah, and then May 2nd, we're going to be at the Aurora Theater doing our Star Trek show, Captain Peak. So come check that out for Free Comic Book Day. It's a lot of fun.
I love Captain Peak. He's the best.
And do you have a closing for us?
I don't know why I forget this every single time.
It's open book test.
I know, right?
Come to Stellarfest.
Yes.
Hey.
Come to Stellarfest.
All right.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
See y'all Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. See ya.